Frank Ragnow of your Detroit Lions. You are now tuning into the official new hotness, the One Pride podcast presented by ISN. This is your source for all Detroit Lions news, rumors, pre- and post-game day breakdowns. Go Lions.
I appreciate you, Frank the Tank, for opening this segment up. But what's going on, YouTube? And welcome to Detroit Lions Talk with Mike, where we talk all things Detroit Lions news, rumors, analysis, breakdown, and everything regarding our franchise. This is the One Pride podcast, and I have a special guest. This is on the warpath, a Washington football team fan. What's going on the warpath?
What's up, Mike? Thanks for having me on today, brother. I appreciate you.
Folks, if you don't know who this YouTuber is, that's nuts. I pinned a comment there. That is to his YouTube channel. Make sure everybody subscribes. This guy is the funnest. This guy, if you're down, if you're having a bad day, you go on this man's stream and you're going to be one happy camper. When the Lions lose, I go straight to there and I am laughing. And he is a great content creator, so make sure you check him out. What's going on, John Kapler, TA Noble Sports, Travis Doyle, a member of mine, a new member, I appreciate you, Alberto Valadez, Sergio, we got Squig, 510, Justin May the Rapper, happy birthday, and the rest of you guys coming in, welcome. If you want to shout out, we will shout you out. And we're going to make this a little more informal a little bit. We're going to talk about the draft. We're going to talk about Washington a little bit because I'm curious. And we're just going to have a good old time. But let's get into the Lions stuff really quick before we get a little less candid here. The Lions have interviewed many candidates from a Washington standpoint. I'm sure you've seen all the candidates. Who's a candidate for head coach you would say for a Washington for the Detroit Lions to pick up?
You and I kind of talked about it in your stream when I've commented before, but I like Saleh. I think y'all need a hard-nosed guy who's going to bring energy to the franchise. The last two coaches you've had have been more on the mild side. You had your lazy drunk uncle with Patricia, and then you had Uncle Jim, who was like, he was a guy who was keeping the car running and everything, and then you kind of take him to the other Ford Motor dealership down the road, and you find out they've been selling you flood cars for the last 2 years. I think I don't know. Have you all signed a general manager for yet, or is the team president still running that information?
We still got a team president running it. I think the water boy is running it. We could have the guy who handles the footballs. Thankfully, it's not from the Patriots. But, yeah, we don't have a real guy yet.
Yeah, and trust me, you don't want to go too far down that road because I know what it's like. But, I thought they would have learned something when they got when Matt Millen and these former players, you can't bring these guys back. You bring Chris out of the broadcast booth and everything. So, I don't know how that's going to work out. I think that's good for the fans and everything. But what does he bring to the table? I know they've got him like a special assistant type deal. So what say will he have in there? Because you got to think he's going to have a little bit, or why would they bring him on?
Yeah, he's going to have a say. The issue when it comes to the Lions is we've never had football people run our franchise. We've always had people run the franchise.
That's right.
They're living and breathing, and they have blood flowing through them. So that's a good thing, but we've never really had football guys. And so it's nice, Dern, that we got it. Who's the guy you want, Dern?
For which one are we talking about? Head coach? Or are we talking general manager?
Head coach.
Head coach. Well, it's hard to say. There's a lot of different routes we could go. I just want a guy that will rally the team and will bring everyone together. Will make smart decisions, won't make boneheaded things, won't call out the players and stop doing this to that other guy because you ain't as good as him. Like Patricia did.
Yeah.
I would say what he said to Slay, but I feel like I should not say it because I said it before and I got to, oh my God. So, yeah, I just won't say it again. Salah had his.
So he said to suck his Penasini, right?
Yeah.
That's what he said?
Yep.
Okay.
Quit sucking his Penasini. Yeah, there you go. That's what he said. So, like I said, Salah had his interview today. Hopefully it went well, but I know Salah also has an interview with the Jets tomorrow. And I heard he is also going to interview with the Falcons at some point. Why are you going to let him go? The dude rallied that 49ers defense, even though they were down to their third stringers, and they still played really well.
Yeah.
If he switched the Lions to a 4-3, and I think he could do decent with the players that we have now.
Mm-hmm. That's hashtag facts. I like Saleh. You know who I like, Antonio Hightower. What's going on, buddy? Who do you want for head coach? And please don't say you want Matt Patricia.
Wow.
Well, that was weird. You went in and now you're out. Are you back, Antonio Hightower? Apparently not.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Well, you're going in and out. Can you speak now? No. So this is crazy. I think that they had too much Penasini and too much Fifth vodka over there. Question from Squid: would you rather have a general manager who can get free agents, Rick Smith, or a GM who draft? I like general managers who draft. What say you on the warpath?
Oh yeah, you got to have somebody that's going to draft and has got a good football mind. I think more or less, and kind of going back on what you said about the coaching, and you want Saleh. The one thing that I look for is I think the football skills is kind of third on my list for a head coach. You want a leader,
Yes.
You want a man. Well, first of all, you want a man, you want a leader, or a woman, whatever nowadays. But and you want somebody who can teach X's and O's. Like any coordinator can teach X's and O's. That's the thing. That's why Jay Gruden wasn't good in Washington. He was just a coordinator with as a head coach. But yeah, you want somebody who's going to be able to control the draft room and who also has his finger on free agency and not just free agency in the summer and the spring and everything, but like if you need to make a quick shift move in the regular season, if you got to go out and get some free agent that from like Backwood State University in Oregon, right? So,
when it comes to yes, you want a leader of men, a men who can lead. I was in the Army. Yeah. Yes, you can have all the smarts in the world. Your IQ can be extremely high, and you could do the equation of pi with not even thinking and doing all. But guess what? It means nothing if you can't put these men together. Rocket scientist Pat Patricia, don't call him Matt Patricia. He was a smart guy, but he was a terrible leader, telling people to eat Penasinis. We don't like that. We like to have strong D stuff in the run, not stuff in the mouth. Dern, do you like a leader of men or do you like smart people? Okay, Dern. Holy smokes, we're having some issues here. Hopefully it's not from my end here. But are you back, Antonio Hightower?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay,
man.
sorry, my mic was muted. You cracked me up with that joke, man. Oh.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks.
So what I was going to say was it definitely has to be a leader of men because we've already been down that road with the rocket scientist. Mm-hmm. It's not a good thing. You may be smart, but you dumb when you lead in men.
Yes.
And when you tell them to choke on some Penasinis, it's not a good thing.
Yes. The only Penasinis we need to be choking on is against offensive linemen and getting after the quarterback, Antonio Hightower. Hopefully you're back. Well, who do you want for head coach of the Detroit Lions?
Me? I want Eric Beienemy.
Okay.
Eric Beienemy is my number one dude. Brian Dable is my number two. And I forget his name for the Panthers OC. He's my number three.
Okay.
I think Beienemy is going to be a great OC.
Facts.
Now the problem with Chiefs OCs is you could end up with like a really good guy, or you could end up with like Matt Nagy, which is, not a bad guy, but definitely not the guy you were expecting. So but he seems a little bit better than most of them. I think you get him, you could really have. Then you would draft the quarterback. Now you're really cooking because now you got an OC who's going to stay there for a couple years, and you got a quarterback you can build around. You know, there's some good wide receivers in this draft, but like I would be okay with Saleh. You know, he's probably my number 4 candidate.
Okay.
Since Lincoln Riley probably not gonna come to the NFL. He's probably like my number 4 candidate. So I really think we should go after Beienemy. If we can't get Beienemy, which I kind of doubt we will. If we can't get Dable, which I don't think Dable's gonna come here. Not many coaches are gonna want to come to Detroit.
Okay.
Let's be honest. I really think we can get Joe Brady though, because I think a lot of teams are gonna try to go like, well, let's just see him for another year. So I think the Lions have a chance to scoop him up. But if we don't go that route, I'd be okay with Saleh. He probably wouldn't be the long-term answers coach, but for right now, he could probably be a really a nice head coach for us.
What about Josh McDaniels? You want to do the Patriot way?
No, because I don't think he's that good of an OC. If he was like a really good offensive coordinator, I would consider it. But he's not even that great of an offensive coordinator.
I don't want any more Patriots this way. But Travis Doyle dropped a super chat. He said, "Would you trade all your first round or trade down if you would you look at drafting? Would you trade all first round or trade down?" Look, here's my deal. I want to take a elite player if we get a blue chipper at the 7th pick. If not, I would love to trade back and acquire more picks. Travis Doyle, I appreciate your super chat. God bless you. Hey, we got Monterey Moore in the building. He's a Lions YouTuber as well. Subscribe to his channel, but also subscribe to the man who we have on the guest here on the Warpath. I want to see him at least get 10 subscribers right now. We got 53 in the building. Let's get this man 10 subscribers immediately. Let's get him to 2,000 as fast as humanly possible. He'll be doing a live stream of the Washington game. Okay, he does live streams, and it's awesome. So I'm going to be there on the game. So if you want to have some fun, be there on the game. I'll be in their building talking some stuff. Also, we got 20 likes with 52 in the building. Let's get 52 likes and get this thing going. We have a lot of free agents here in Durham. Sorry, not Antonio. We got a lot of free agents here. Who is your number 1 priority for the Lions to sign?
Man, it's hard. I know we have 18 contracts expiring, but I haven't really looked at who is all leaving at the moment. I wish there were some other guys leaving, like a Christian Jones instead of some of the other guys.
Yeah.
I know I said during the season, Marvin Jones, we should have traded him. Man, he looked great with Stafford this last game. Woo! He looked sync. Man, they have some brotherly love for each other. They have a great connection. And it all depends on who your head coach is after a while, who your GM is. We all know that it's really hard for Detroit to get free agents unless we overpay them, just like we did with Flowers, like we did with Vitae. A lot of these players. It's just difficult for the Lions to get free agents.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
Sorry. Like I said, I don't really remember whose all contracts are expiring right now. Mm-hmm. But if they are on our starting lineup, like maybe a Romeo Okwara, maybe we should sign him because I know he's one of them. And he really did step it up this year. I know it's a contract year, and it really bothers me when players go off on their contract year because he did nothing last year.
Yeah.
But it's for me, it's really hard to pay a player when they go off on their contract year because then sometimes they just smooth sail it from here on out.
Hey, but we can go ahead and talk about that as well because guess what? Derrick Henry was on a contract year. He got big payday. And now he's the offensive player of the year. I got told that this guy was a has-been. He didn't earn his contract.
Right.
That's not looking the same, so you just never know. John Kapler, $5 super chat. God bless. It says, how about Austin Bryant? What position to take in round 2? Dern, I know you want to give Austin Bryant a chance. We talk on the sideline about this. Me, I'm really still angry about his injury history, but he's still on a rookie deal. What do you think about Austin Bryant?
Well, I thought he was drafted and brought here to be that jack linebacker that rushes the passer. And that was clearly not the case because he was at the defensive end almost the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why they kept putting Tobias over there or Christian Jones or other players in that jack when they drafted this guy to do it. I mean, he did look okay after a while. He kept missing some sacks. But he got to the quarterback. He made some pressures. He's pretty close, but it's really hard to say. At least he's still pretty cheap right now.
Hey, and look, I want to see him stay on the field, but we'll see next year. I think he's still going to be on the team, no doubt about it. Position in round 2, it depends what we do in round 1. Round 1, it's either Micah Parsons trade back, or if there's a quarterback who you could covet, that could be the heir apparent to Stafford, take that. I like the linebacker Micah Parsons. I like Trey Lance. But if we don't do that, let's go ahead and get TA Noble Sports on here. Oh, my God.
What's going on?
Bring that hype, TA. Tell me what you want for a head coach. Tell me who you want for a free agent. You are the hype guy. Let's go.
Man, Mike just got that hard Pennicini right there.
Right up.
You say what I want, Mike, for a coach?
Yeah. Get hype.
Man, I want a guy that's just a leader of men. That's what I'm looking for, man. When I look for a head coach, I'm looking for a guy that's a leader of a man, the leader of men, and that's going to get in here and make these guys believe that they can win. That's what you want out of a head coach. I don't care who the coach is, if it's Saleh, if it's Eric Beienemy, if it's Arthur Smith, whatever coach that they bring in. I just want a guy that's going to be able to lead this franchise into the right position, and that's just winning, man. You know, that's the only thing that you can do in Detroit, because Detroit has been at the bottom for years. So it's time to rise to the top, and the only thing that I want is somebody that's going to come in here and change the culture, and a guy that makes these guys believe from day one. That's what I want in a head coach.
And I know you're a very passionate Lions fan. What about Austin Bryant? I know how you feel about this guy because you're with me here. Go off, man.
Yeah, now the thing with Austin Bryant is this. You know, Austin Bryant is a guy, when I'm looking at Austin Bryant, he's a guy that has talent. But in his injury history has definitely derailed his career a little bit. I'm not saying that the guy can't bounce back, because that'll be a great Cinderella story to be able to bounce back and perform well next season. But at the same time, what is he going to give me that I need? And I need somebody to be able to get to the quarterback. So if Austin Bryant is able to get to the quarterback and he's able to make plays out there, and he's playing on a rookie deal anyway, so we got no choice but to keep the guy, because we have nothing. We have nothing on defense. So you're going to have to keep this guy and hope that next season will be a breakout season for Austin Bryant.
Let's talk about the defensive line and the importance of it. And this is why we got on the warpath here. Tell the Lions fans the importance of getting after the quarterback. What does Sweat mean to your team? What does Chase Young mean to your team? Tell these folks about these two players and what the Lions need to look forward to. I want to hear all about I want to hear about these guys getting after it, man.
Oh, man, I tell you, what they always say, what's the best thing about pressure? It busts the pipes, man. I mean, legitimately, you got to think about 3 of the 4 guys that started this year on the offensive line, on the defensive line, were here last year. They sacked, but they weren't as aggressive. You bring in one, and he calls himself a dude, right? Chase Young. You bring in Chase Young, and it's transformative. Montez Sweat, who I thought was going to lead this team in sacks back when Chase was drafted, because of the transitive property, right?
Right.
The guy gets after it, but they've triple teamed and double teamed him, and Montez could have been like, well, I'll just get my regular old sacks. I'll just put my regular old pressure on. No, he said, you know what? I'm going to rise up and I'm going to get after these dudes. I'm going to bust heads and everything. And that's what they did. They went out there. You got an aggressive mind, which Greg Minuski, who's the defense coordinator last year, was very passive. They lacked blitzing. Like, I don't know why they didn't blitz, because they couldn't do anything. I mean, they couldn't cover a bed if there were a blanket last year. So the fact that defensive line, everybody says it starts in the trenches.
Yeah, it is. That's where football games are won at, in the trenches.
Yeah, I mean, and y'all remember this because I can't, for some reason, no matter how bad Detroit is, y'all guarantee Washington, we've been bailing y'all out since 2009. The government and the football team. And, so I'm sitting there like, doggone, Chase, why'd you hit Matt Stafford like that? I'm like, y'all saw the aggression for yourselves, man. Y'all know what these and then not only to say the Alabama boys, who Pro Football Focus has ranked both of them in interior defense linemen top 15, they're not even talked about in their
Deron Payne. You talking about Deron Payne?
Deron Payne and my boy.
Yeah. He good, man.
Come on now, what you talking about?
Yeah, y'all front seven, man, is scary, man.
Oh my gosh, you know what? Michael Jackson said it the best. ABC. Because you know what? Every gap is covered with that defensive line, y'all. The A gap, the B gap, the C gap. We busting pressure, we knocking heads. And Tom Brady, he better watch out because he might be going to the nursing home. Pressure. Y'all. Come on now.
It's hype, Darren. Talk about defensive line pressure, the importance of getting after the quarterback.
Well, if you have a really good quarterback like a Tom Brady, he's going to pick you apart if you don't have any. You got to rattle that quarterback. And if he's afraid of your defensive line, like teams should be afraid of that Washington line. I don't know why Matthew Stafford wasn't, because he's slung at that game. But every other quarterback that I've watched Washington play, they are afraid of those dudes. And we do not have any of those dudes. We do not have a dog on the defensive line.
And they got dogs everywhere. It's like their whole thing is a kennel of dogs that have not eaten meat in a week. They
got a kennel, baby. That's right.
They got Kittle, and we're not talking about a tight end. We're talking about they're looking to eat some meat straight off the street. That's what we need in this draft. So in the second round, to answer your question, let's go defensive end, defensive tackle, and get some crazy. Frog Crop says we got some good vibes happening in the Lions Den. Let's get that right and kick some butts. Hey, shout out to you, Frog Crop, a $10 super chat. God bless. He is a member of mine as well. Frog Crop is the Frog Boss, and I appreciate you. We also got another super chat here from Travis Doyle, another member of mine. I love
yeah.
He says, what do you think about drafting Chris Olave out of Ohio State, Antonio Hightower?
I like Chris Olave.
Olave, yep. Yeah, he's nice.
Where you gonna get him? Because this is a really stacked. This is a really stacked wide receiver draft. He's not top 5. He still could go first round. Now, depends what you get in the first round. If you get a quarterback, or if you trade back, then probably you might. But if you get a quarterback, then it's going to second round. He's just sitting there on the board at second. You need a wide receiver. If the top 5 wide receivers are going, you just go like, well, we'll pick this guy up. Now, I really like him. He's one of the better wide receivers. I question how he would do in the NFL because a lot of Ohio State offensive players, because he was just running by Clemson in that game. Like,
he was.
Wasn't nobody. That Clemson DC was like, oh, we're just gonna leave him on the island. Corner's like, no, he ain't fast enough for me. But I like him. Now, I like him in the second round. If we can get him in the second round, if we have a quarterback in the first round, I would really like to get him in the second round.
Okay, TA Noble Sports. Now, this guy, if you don't know Noble Sports, you got to subscribe to his channel. He is the master of prospects and draft. He tells me about guys a year before they do it. I research it, and he's correct. What do you think about him?
Man, I think definitely, man. Olave is definitely a great pickup, man. He would be a great addition. The Lions need that anyway. They need a guy that can get separation. They need a guy that's a burner. I've always said that the Lions need a speedy receiver. Because when you look at it, if they happen to bring Kenny Golladay back, Kenny Golladay is more like a possession receiver. He's a receiver that has balance. He can catch the 50-50 balls. He can catch the deep balls and stuff like that and things of that nature. He can catch balls with guys covering all over him and stuff like that. But you need that guy that's going to have breakaway speed, that's able to catch the ball on the run and take it to the house. And I definitely think that a guy like Olave could do that. He's going to get really, really tested in the big game on Monday against what is that? Patrick Surtain probably is going to be covering him. So that's going to indicate a lot on far as where he's going to get drafted if he comes out or whatever.
John Kapler says, don't forget about the 7th round defensive end from Ohio State who got injured. He could be good or as better as Panissini, dropping that $5 super chat. God bless you. We're not forgetting anyone. The reason we don't forget anyone is because our talent is so depleted on the defensive side. We're definitely going to be looking at him. What can he do? The issue is, new GM, head coach, are they going to be looking at him? We shall see. We got to stay healthy, though. These players got to stay healthy. John, and I appreciate you. We got Butcher's Block, Patriot Talk. He's a Patriots fan. Subscribe to his channel. Great content. He also does everything New England. Yes, he's had a rough year this year, but let's not feel bad for him. They've had what? How many? 500,000 Super Bowl rings. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. As much as I like Chase Young, be careful what you wish for. It's usually not a good idea to call out the GOAT. Ask Atlanta. Cheers, fellas. Hey. Chase Young is a predator. You see what happened when, Arnold Schwarzenegger and all those guys went into the jungle, right? The predator slowly picked everybody apart. That's what Chase Young is going to do. Will Tom Brady get the edge out? I don't know. But I feel bad for the rest of the offensive line of Tampa Bay. Slowly going to pick them apart. Left tackle up, right tackle gone. Hey, center, get out my way. I think this is kind of what we're going to see here on the warpath.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. And he didn't call. I mean, it's not really a call out. He just said he wants them. He's not downplaying what he wants. He's not downplayed Tom Brady and what he is. He's a competitor. That's what he wants. You don't go into, and I hate to use this phrase, you don't go into a lion's den and tap cages. You say you bust down the door, scream like a banshee, say, I want this SOB. Where is he at? I'm gonna knock him. I'm gonna knock his teeth out. It don't matter. That's what you want. That's what you want. I don't want some mangy-pansy guy that's gonna sit on his hands and say, well, Tom Brady. Don't tell me something I don't know. I know Tom Brady is great. I know what Tom Brady is. But give me a fighting chance, because nobody else is going to give you a fighting chance if you don't give it to yourself. So that's why I'm like, go ahead. Come on with it. Like, you got to. This is why you got this guy. This is why he was drafted number 2 overall. This is why people are triple teaming him, quadruple teaming, probably sending 8 on the offensive side against him and everything like that. But that's why. He is that guy. That's what he does. He didn't say anything disrespectful. He just went out there and said, I'm ready for the challenge. I want Tom Brady. Come on, bring it to me. Why wouldn't you want somebody like that? I don't want somebody saying, oh, well, it's Tom Brady. He's the GOAT. He's got 6 rings. I know that too. His wife is beautiful, but I don't need people telling me that. I can go Google it.
Well, I don't have a mic on me because it's in a stand, but I would be dropping it right now. And no doubt about it. And that's on the warpath. His link is the pinned comment. Click on that link really quick. Hit subscribe. This guy and his channel and his panel is hilarious. I am telling you, I could sit there for hours. I sit there for hours and just laugh. The guy is a fantastic channel. I'm going to be there when the playoffs are taking place. So if you want to hang out and talk some football, I'll be in the comment section chatting away. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you're part of ISN, all ISN members subscribe to that channel immediately. Also, if you do content and you're not a Detroit Lions fan, maybe you're NBA, maybe you're NFL, and you want to start a YouTube channel, hit me up. We are always looking for new members to join ISN to get a different perspective because, look, Detroit Lions is fun and all, but so is the NFL, and so is the NBA, and so is volleyball, if you like that, I guess. But we'll see. A comment took place, Dern, with our 3rd pick in the draft. And he said there was a lot of dysfunction when it comes to Pat Patricia's regime. Dern, do you agree with his statement? Do you think that he was good to say that?
There was a lot of things wrong with Pat Patricia. I mean, like we just touched on it before when he was calling out guys and trying to be someone that he wasn't trying to be. He was trying to be Bill Belichick. In your first year, when you're calling out players and you haven't earned it, they're not going to like that. They're not going to take too kind to what you're talking to them. So, of course, there was dysfunction. I mean, I don't understand why some of these coaches just think they automatically earn or they deserve respect. You got to earn that.
You got to earn and deserve respect. Antonio Hightower, Jeff Okuda, he didn't have the greatest year in the world. Do you agree with his statements that this was a dysfunction and he was able to speak?
Oh, yeah. There was definitely a lot of dysfunction in the Lions. I mean, there's always dysfunction in the Lions, so this ain't no new news. Lions have been dysfunctional for like, what, a few decades at least. So dysfunction around the Lions is nothing new. Now, they need to get a regime in there that can get rid of the dysfunction. Now, what regime is that going to be? Who knows? But yeah, this regime was clearly dysfunctional. It clearly was very dysfunctional, and I'm guessing it had an impact on him.
TA Noble Sports, do you agree with Okuda?
Yeah, no doubt. I agree with Akuda. It was the first thing of it is that, what I'm saying, you had so much speculation coming into the season on how Akuda would be as a player. He started out pretty good, what I'm saying, and then he had some games where he started regressing or whatever. But the whole thing of it is, I want to tell the fans is that Akuda is not a bust. You got to give him the opportunity to be able to. It's going to take him a little time. It's going to take him a couple more seasons and where he's seasoned and he understands the game because the speed of the game is so fast. But back to the dysfunction, it was dysfunction from last season because pretty much a lot of the fans wanted Matt Patricia gone last year, and then some fans wanted him to come back, and it was just still dysfunction from last season. So it came to a conclusion this season that we got to get rid of this guy. I don't know why it took them so long to get rid of Matt Patricia, but now that's out. That Patricia is out of the door. So now we don't have any more excuses as far as blaming Matt Patricia. Now we got to look at the front office, and now we got to look at the talent on the team. So I definitely think that it was a lot of dysfunction going on in the locker room because the players were not on one accord with one another.
You know what is dysfunctional? That we got 39 thumbs up and there's 77 in the building. Let's get those thumbs up to 77. Why do you want to get those thumbs up? YouTube algorithm. The more thumbs up you get, the more comments you get. Guess what? The video gets out there. And us little YouTubers, TA Noble Sports, Dern, we got Antonio, and on the Warpath, the more likes we get, the more thumbs up we get, the more interaction that we get, our videos and streams get out there, and we are going against the legacy media. They are juggernauts, and we are just one YouTube channel, one little tiny channels going against the big leagues out there. So make sure you do that. John Kapler, he says, a $5 super chat. God bless you again. John's on fire. He's a YouTuber as well. Subscribe to his channel. Look at his avatar. King Henry is just throwing away a little Detroit Lions player there. He says, Mike, who will you lose your mind over if we don't cut Christian Jones, re-sign Matt Nelson at right tackle, and replace Big V? Halapluti Vati Vaitai. If we re-sign Christian Jones, okay, I can't stream if I find that out, if we resign this guy. Why? Because there'll be beep, 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 beep. Everything would come out if we resign this guy. He's trash, okay? Christian Jones, our linebacking core is trash. We cannot have this man on our team. He is not even a backup worthy. Let him go to the Washington football team with Ron Rivera, and he can be a water boy there. To me, that is the most important thing, is to not have him. Wow, we got another super chat from Travis Doyle. What do you think about Quincy Ed Rush out of Miami? I like it. I talked about this guy multiple times. I think he would be a good addition to the Lions. Anytime you could get edge rushers, anytime you can get someone who can get after the quarterback, that's how you win football games, via pass rush, via the trenches. Okay, we don't have that in the Detroit Lions. Washington football team are in the playoffs because that's what they have. That's what they have. They have pass rush. So, yeah, I think he'd be a fine prospect as well. And I think having a new coach as well, like if we could get a coach like Ron Rivera, we could teach him up very well. I mean, if you have a good quality coach that can teach these young guys and get them to the next level, the importance of head coach is so vital towards a franchise. Look at the Detroit Lions. We had a clown for a coach. Look at the Washington football team. They get Ron Rivera. They're in the playoffs with quarterbacks. Like all the quarterbacks go there, they're still win. So yes, it's very, very important. Also, it's important that you subscribe to On the Warpath. Link again is the pinned comment. I want to see him grow like he has some, well, I wouldn't say Viagra, but I want this guy to grow on subscriber count. No doubt about it. In 8 minutes, we're going to you for mailbag. Ask us any questions. Hashtag Lions, hashtag Washington, hashtag Bears. I don't care what team you are. Ask us questions, and we're going to get into it. On the Warpath, explain to the people the importance of having a quality leader of a coach like Ron Rivera.
Oh, man, it's transformative. It is transformative. I don't think any coach could have handled what he was dealt with. Let's talk about it. January, you're dealing with a global pandemic. So you don't get to meet your players, right? So you have to do everything via Zoom. You have the scandals with your owner, the ownership strife, trying to sell stock in the team and everything like that. And then, you have this thing called the name change, right? So bye-bye this little Native American head right here. It's just straight Washington. Yes, you know what? It just because it couldn't get worse. You get diagnosed with cancer. And then you beat cancer. And then you beat cancer twice in the form of a former first-round draft pick from the Ohio State University and Dwayne Haskins. So he's the only man that I've seen beat cancer that twice. I don't think they could have folded up and went to the house multiple times. They were 1-5, 2-7, but they hung in there. And the message never got muddled in the locker room. Now, the media would always complain in DC. Well, he said this, and then he said this, but he didn't do this, and blah blah blah. I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I don't give a ham sandwich what he's saying to us, the fans and the media, because his players, nothing leaked out, and we are so connected with the players. And the media is even closer. They got their phone numbers. They can tweet them and be like, hey, this is what's going on. And it never got leaked out. And then he didn't even go to Walmart. He didn't go to Target. That brother went down to the 99-cent store and got some free agents, brought them in here. Ronald Darby was getting so burned last year in Philadelphia that he put aloe vera back in. I bought stock in aloe vera last year because of him. He was getting cooked so much. And then he brought in Kevin Pierre-Louis. He brought in all these other dudes, traded for Kyle Allen. And somehow these mixed bag of nuts stayed together because of his leadership, and they were 7-9, and they won the division. You can't make that stuff up. And to the credit of y'all's boy, old fat Sasquatch, or Patty Ice, as y'all want to call him, whatever you call him. But I know he couldn't have handled that. I don't think there's any man that could have handled that much stress, and I wouldn't blame him. And then you have a quarterback who literally almost died 2 years ago. And I mean, dude, it's to the credit to what that man is and who he is, Ron Rivera, why this team has had so much success. And, I'm still in awe. I can't believe it, to be honest with you.
And that's the importance of having a leader of men.
Right.
Now, if they wouldn't have Ron Rivera, in my opinion, they're probably not in the playoffs. If they had Pat Matricia, they're probably picking the top 5. Now, if we had Ron Rivera, maybe we're a lot better team, TA Noble Sports. TA of Noble Sports. Or Dern.
Say that again, Mike.
A leader of men, the importance of a head coach.
Yeah, a leader of, I mean, that's what you need, man. You need a coach that's going to be a leader of men. You know, when you're looking at a coach, Mike, that is what you're looking at. You're looking at a guy that's going to be able to lead guys, other men, to be a positive role model on and off the field. You know, giving the example of how to do things. Now, the biggest thing too, when you're head coach, is that number one, you have to be able to stamp your identity on the football team. You need to have an identity. And I think that that's something that the Lions haven't had in a very, very long time. They haven't had no identity, especially when it comes to defense. Who is the face of the defense? When you look at Detroit Lions, besides having Sue a few years ago, when you look at the Lions right now, currently, and you look at the roster, who on that roster gives you the chills when you see them? You know, like, oh, man, I got to watch out for this dude all game long. See, when you had Sue on the team, guys respected Sue, because they knew that he was going to bring it every single game. But now you got the guys on defense now. You don't know who's going to make a play on defense. You're just happy that anybody can make a play. So you need a guy that's going to come in here and transcend the defense and be able to take these guys to the next level. And it starts from being able to have guys buy in from day one. That's what it's all about, man.
Is Jared Davis a guy that puts fear in people's eyes, TA?
No, he is not. Jared Davis don't pump nothing, man. He don't do nothing. None of our linebackers do, man. Hey, Mike.
I say you're lying because he puts fear in me. He puts fear
Yeah, fear not to make a play, huh, Mike?
Okay, folks. It is now mailbag time. Mailbag time is where you guys run the show. Ask us a question. Ask us individually. Ask us as a panel. You can ask us any question. It could be a Washington question. We got the guy here on the warpath, one of the greatest minds when it comes to the Washington football team. Pick his brain. Pick his brain. Ask him some questions so he can answer. Hey, and if you got other teams, Bears, you got other teams, we got a Packers fan in here. We got a West Branch Ball, who I know is really a Oregon Duck fan in here. Let us know. But McShay mocked wide receiver Jamar Chase to Detroit. What do you think, Dern?
I brought this up to you guys a couple times during offline. I know you guys don't like the idea. But honestly, I think a Devontae Smith or a Jamar Chase are game changers on our offense, especially if you keep Stafford. I know you guys don't like the idea, but I like game changers. That's what I like. I like game changers. And I know this wide receiver class is super deep, so I know that's not probably a luxury we can do. So, like I keep saying to you guys, it all depends on who our head coach is, on where I think we should go.
I think that there needs to be more thumbs up. We got 129 in the building with 54 thumbs up. Let's get to 75 thumbs up, 7-5. Let's get those thumbs up. Antonio Hightower, you went, ooh. What do you think about Jamar Chase?
Here's the thing. If the top 4 QBs are not there, go with Jamar Chase or Jalen Waddle if they're there. Because there really isn't any defensive player who, I mean, I know it's going to sound crazy. I don't know if you should take Michael Parsons in the first round. Because I don't know how much impact a linebacker has. Because as a linebacker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Linebacker is it's an important position, but it's one of the least important positions on defense. You know, there's DN, there's CB, safety, linebacker, then DT. So and he's a Mike at that. So the question is, do you spend a top 10 pick on a Mike? I don't know, especially when Jamar Chase might be there, Jalen Waddle might be there. What's his name? Devonta Smith might be there. If the top 4 QBs is gone, I would really like to get a wide receiver.
Okay, so who are you going to pick, Antonio Hightower? You got Trey Lance there. You have one of those wide receivers, or you have Micah Parsons, and you have to pick.
Trey Lance, easy.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you, man. I love Micah Parsons though too. I truly do. French fries, great name. I love French fries. I'm gonna throw this one to you, TA Noble Sports. Do you think the Lions re-signed Kenny Galladay?
Man, that's a great question, Mike. French fries, that's definitely a great question, bro. Man, I think the Lions probably should sign Kenny Galladay back, but definitely at the right price. I don't know what the price is going to be for Kenny Galladay because I'm looking at it from how Kenny Galladay came in. He earned everything that he has. I know a lot of people gave him crap this year and said, "Oh man, he doesn't want to get out on the field and play and stuff like that." But you got to look at it like this. You know what I'm saying? The guy probably could have been seriously hurt. You know, anytime you got an injury that's involving a hip, it can be very serious. But at the same time, the talent that Kenny Galladay has, it's not a lot of receivers that have that type of capability that he has. And if you're the Lions, you got so much dysfunction going on. You have to be able to have something on the team. So I would say that the Lions need to find a way to renegotiate a deal with Galladay to be able to bring him back on to the roster, because I think that he's going to be a guy that's definitely going to be able to do some things for the Lions for the coming years. I mean, just let's look at it, guys. Kenny Galladay was a 3rd round pick. He got taken in the 3rd round, and he earned himself a position in the Pro Bowl. He had 2 back-to-back seasons over 1,000 yards catching the football. He probably would have did it this year if he wouldn't have got injured. So you definitely want to bring a guy like Kenny Galladay back. But if you decide to pass on him, then you're definitely going to have to go with another receiver.
Interesting right there. And this one is definitely going to on the warpath. He says, #ISN Redskins quarterback situation for the game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Can we get Matt Stafford on lease, please? Because he's undefeated in Washington. So
Yes.
you know, so can we get him on lease? No, but
Yes.
it looks like it's going to be Haneke has taken all of the first team reps so far. Alex Smith said he's still sore. And I've been kind of really had a hard time with this, because you're going to got a guy with no experience, but he's healthier. But you've got Alex Smith, and you've seen what he's done. He's like 5-2 as a starter with Washington. And like I said, I don't think any quarterback that we had on the roster would put us in this situation. We'd probably be picking ahead of you all if it was Kyle Allen or Trashkin Haskins. But and I think that you know, it's going to be Haneke for practice, and this was the last day of practice. But we may see Alex Smith because he was stretching on the side. And Ron has said they may alternate, which I think that's crazy because it's not preseason. But yeah, man, we need Matt Stafford on lease. Can we just get him for like a day, and then we'll send him back to you all, because Matt's the man. I ain't gonna lie.
I got that deal. Propose a trade to you. We'll send you Matthew Stafford. I proposed this trade to you before.
No.
How about Montez Sweat?
No.
Yeah, give me Jonathan Allen instead.
Do not do that, Lion.
No.
You give me Montez Sweat and a draft pick.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I look, hey man, I said, and I've told Mike this before. I've got a little, we're kindred spirits, Washington, Detroit, and I've got family that's Detroit Lions fans. So, but I love y'all, but I can't do that. Can't do that. We built,
can you explain to us why you can't do it?
Because why can't you do it?
Because y'all done beat us so doggone much. We're trying to figure out ways to beat y'all. We're trying to figure out a way to beat Matt Stafford. That's what's been consistent since 2009. Death, taxes, and Matt Stafford beating Washington. I'm tired of it.
So here's the way that you can beat us then. You trade us Jonathan Allen, we'll give you Stafford, and then Stafford won't beat you.
He's a local dude. I can't get rid of John Allen, man.
Hey,
he's a local guy.
He'll beat you by throwing an interception on a touchdown.
Lordy V.
Question here: if we hire a head coach before GM, will it create a separation between the head coach and GM, Antonio Hightower?
Yeah, that is something you might happen, because the thing about, you usually want a head coach and a GM who are on the same page. You kind of have similar philosophies. Same thing with your defense coordinator, offense coordinator. You want them all to be on the same page, kind of have similar philosophies, know where each other's coming from. So if you hire like Saleh, and then you hire a GM who kind of views football a little different way, wants to draft a little different way, you could have a split between your head coach and the GM. So I think the Lions should have the Lions first, they should really have an idea who they really want to be the GM. I would love to have a GM first. This is no selling situation. You might just have to get the head coach first. But yeah, that is a potential problem you could deal with.
And I will get to the question before, but Travis Doyle dropped the super chat, so you got to go straight to him. Thank you so much. He is on a warpath, but he says on the warpath, he's asking you, do you think Washington would consider trading Matthew Unitas off your team? Would you people like him on the Lions?
No. No, and yes, you are, and I'll answer this one for you. Heck yeah, y'all would love him on there. This guy, he honestly is our best defensive tackle. He is our best interior defense lineman. I'll be honest with you, Big Tim Settle out of Virginia Tech. It could possibly low key be our second best. Yes, I said that about the Alabama boys, but I would not trade Matt Ioannidis for all the gold in the world right now. I want Deshaun Watson, and there's rumors coming out about him, but I wouldn't give up Ioannidis for Deshaun Watson.
Watson, man, well, they said in Pro Football Talk that they wouldn't trade him, but all teams say that type of stuff. Mars Landy says, replace Lions with Eagles. Who win the division? I still would say the Washington football team.
The Washington, yeah, not the Lions.
Just because of their front seven is just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, our defense is trash, man.
Chris Johnson, is Stafford staying in Detroit? Well, here, I'm going to give you an update when it comes to Matthew Stafford. He gets a bonus in mid-March. And if the Lions do not trade him before the bonus, after the bonus, it would cost $29 million in dead cap. So if he gets his bonus, he's staying in Detroit. I put it that way. But if they were to trade him, it would have to be before mid-March. But if you trade him, you're giving away what you're going to probably do in the draft. And I know you're a Colts fan, and you're thinking, man, maybe the Colts trade for Matthew Stafford. That would be a spot, but maybe Matt Ryan as well. Maybe they trade for Matt Ryan. But, TA, what do you think, man? Are they going to trade Stafford?
Man, Mike, to be honest with you, no, they're not going to trade Matthew Stafford. It's too much money on the books. I definitely believe Stafford will be back for one more year. But in saying that Stafford's going to come back for one more season, I'm still taking a quarterback. Now, me personally, I can have my own opinions and views on what I think about Matthew Stafford, because I think that Stafford is a solid quarterback, and I think that he's done the Lions as best as he could. Whatever weapons he's had, he's done the best that he could. But I just think that now it's just time to be able to get an heir apparent to Matthew Stafford, because apparently this guy has been getting injured year in and year out for the last 3 seasons, and that scares me. And by that scaring me, it makes me want to go out and grab another quarterback. And I'm not saying that you got to throw that quarterback out to the Wolves, but I just think that it's time to grab another young quarterback, and preferably I want a dual threat guy.
Okay, question here. I'm going to give this one right to you, TA. Zach Wilson or Trey Lance? They're on the board for some reason. They're both there. Who would you take?
Without a doubt, I'm taking Trey Lance.
Okay. What about you?
I'm taking Trey Lance.
You said me?
Yeah, because you went,
that
means you want
to I'm taking Wilson. Not even a conversation for me. Wilson has a chance to be the second best QB in the draft right now. He's getting a lot of hype. Dude is really nice. Sometimes he's a little too aggressive for what his arm talent allows him to do. But, man, that dude is nice.
Is Matt Ryan going to be on the trading block? I don't know exactly the cap situation, but from what I hear, it's huge if he gets traded. So I don't know. They don't have a GM yet. They don't have a head coach. I do believe they're taking a quarterback, though. No doubt about it. I think the Atlanta Falcons are taking a quarterback. If they don't trade him, it's probably his last year there in Atlanta. Would you trade Washington football team on the warpath for Matt Ryan if you could get him?
He meets the qualifiers that I'm looking for in a quarterback. He's been to the playoffs. He's had nominals. He's had success in the playoffs. Besides the huge choke that he had in the Super Bowl, but the cap, the money, I just think that cap hit and his age. I think he'll be 36 at the start of next season. So I couldn't trade for him just because of that age bracket.
This is a great free agency question here because he's Rod Love 313 says Allen Robinson or Corey Davis come home to pair with Kenny Galladay. Dern, who you gonna take, man? If you get one of these guys,
Well, if you re-sign Kenny Galladay, you have to go Corey Davis because you're not going to have enough money to sign Allen Robinson. We have
Facts.
$10 million in cap right now. It's exactly why the Lions should not bring back Kenny Galladay because he's going to demand too much. He's going to want $15 to $18 million a year, and that's something that the Lions cannot afford. Like I said before, we have 18 contracts expiring this year.
woo, 18. And we got some bad contracts that's currently on there. Just like we need to have more likes, folks. We got 66 likes. Let's get to 75. I think that's 9 away. So let's get those likes up, 120 in the building. And again, we have On the Warpath. He's the guy in the middle. Okay, if we're doing a game show, we would be looking this way and be like, hey. So make sure that you go ahead and wrong way. You survived the turn. Folks, it's the pinned comment. Subscribe to this man's channel and have some fun there. They have a great panel every single time they do their stuff. It's amazing. And TA Noble Sports and Antonio Hightower. Subscribe to their channels. I like Corey Davis as well. I think that would be a good piece here. No doubt about it, to add him for the cheaper price. And it just depends how much Kenny Galladay is going to get paid. They could franchise him.
Yeah.
That's very possible. French fries, hopefully it's from McDonald's. I like the McDonald's French fries a little bit more. He says, do you think the Jets go with Justin P. Fields, TA of Noble Sports?
Yes, I do. All day long, I think that the Jets is taking their guy. Now, I know a lot of people say Zach Wilson can possibly come up to number 2, but I just want to pump their brakes for a little bit. The performance that he had against the Clemson Tigers was box office. If he happens to beat the Alabama Crimson Tide, his stock is going to go through the roof. No doubt about it. The Jets are taking Justin Fields. No doubt about it. I have been watching the Jets videos, the guys that make Jets videos, and they want Justin P. Fields. They are very, very excited to have a guy like him.
I just did a mock draft. I dropped it a couple hours ago. Take a look at that mock draft. If you haven't done so, I do have Justin Fields going to the New York Jets. I just think that he's much better than Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's a little bit injury prone. Yes, they could go ahead and get Penei Sewell and solidify the offensive line.
Yeah, they could do that. Yep.
It very well could be, but I think that Justin Fields is more athletic. He can run. I mean, this is now a league where you're going to have a dual threat quarterback. And I think Justin Fields is a player that can really help out with that. What do you think about that, Dern?
I think whatever quarterback that they draft is going to be really, really pissed off because they don't have any wide receivers besides maybe 2 of them. Their offensive line is mediocre at best. Their running back, Frank Gore, is probably going to retire, and then they have only Ty Johnson back there. Who is their tight end? They're a mess on offense. They're going to be setting that quarterback up to fail.
Travis Doyle, another super chat. Man, he's on fire today, and I really appreciate it, folks. And all the people that super chatted, I just want to let you know I did get some upgrade on some of the technology, and I really appreciate it to give you guys a better quality to view. Travis Doyle, would you guys trade Desmond Trufant off the team, or do you think he doesn't have trade value? Antonio Hightower.
I mean, I would do it because I'm at this point, I'm kind of like just going to a full rebuild, get rid of all the big contracts, commit to a full-scale rebuild, get as many picks as you can. Now, the question is, do the Lions want to take that cap hit? I don't know if they want to do that. I don't know if they want to do that. I would trade them, but I don't know if the Lions want to take that cap hit.
What do you think on the warpath? I'm sure you're familiar with Desmond Trufant. If you're a team like we are, do you start trading assets away to get more draft capital? We only have 5 draft picks in this year's draft.
Yeah, I think you got to find a way to acquire more picks. And if his contract, I'm more familiar with his older brother Marcus more than anything. But you're gonna have to cut some. You got to cut the fat off, and if that guy is kind of bleeding you and You can get a extra draft pick to bring in a young guy on the cheap and can make an impact move. I say I'm all for it and get those draft picks back. But what team is going to want him? That's the other question. I always tell my subscribers, I'm like, well, they said we should trade for this.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you willing to give up to get this? And it goes vice versa too. If you're in the shoes of the other team, what are you think they're going to give up for him?
And you always got to look at the player's contract.
Yep.
To me, that's always important to get assets. You know, just because you have a Trey Flowers or all this, their contract is so bad, teams are not willing to give it up. If you look at Brock Osweiler, when he got traded to the Cleveland Browns, they had to trade away a draft pick with him because of his contract. They literally just dumped him off. So that's the issue here. I'm going to give this one to On a Warpath. He's not a Lions fan. What's a realistic package you think you could get from Matthew Stafford? Looking outside, not biased like we are.
I would give up. I think you could get a day 2 pick for him. Maybe a day 2 pick, maybe even a day 3 pick. I'm just saying this from where I would want him, and that's how much I would give up for him. And I think he could add some credibility to Washington at the quarterback. I mean, any functional human could probably do that at this point. But I think I would give up a 2 or 3 or maybe 2 2s and maybe a 3 or something like that. I think we have 2 3, so we can give up a 3 and maybe a 2 next year. But I'm stingy. I'm going to be stingy anyway with my draft picks because I think the draft is a crapshoot, and I want as many dice as I can throw in it.
Yeah, man, we know about that in the draft. We've been burned a lot. How old is Stafford? 32. That's how old he is. What's going on, Goes? He says, what's up, Mike? I think the Lions should hire Marvin Lewis as head coach, just on experience. Dern, what do you think about Marvin Lewis?
Absolutely not. What he did in Cincinnati, I'm going to say no, because he was there for years, and he stayed mediocre the entire time.
And Stan disagrees, says Marvin Lewis is solid. He is solid, but my issue is he haven't won a lot of playoff games. And if you're to the Detroit Lions, we haven't won a playoff game since 1990. We've got to.
Right, 91, yeah.
91, that's right. TA Noble Sports, what do you think about Marvin Lewis?
And I think that Marvin Lewis, no, I wouldn't get him. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't sound bad, but at this point, man, the Lions need to do something different. You know, Marvin Lewis has pretty much had his time in Cincinnati. He's been with Cincinnati for 15, 20 years. I don't know how long he was with that football club. But at the same time, I just think that it's time to give these new guys an opportunity. And when you have a job like the Detroit Lions, which is one of the toughest tasks in the NFL, you have to make sure that you get a great coach. And get
we get Deshaun Watson or any other team. Does he get traded?
No, not to the Lions. We don't have enough capital for Deshaun, but I would love to have him.
Deshaun Watson's a beast. Washington football team on the warpath. Deshaun Watson. What would you give up to get him?
Yes. I'd give up my mom, my grandma. Probably a year's dinner at a fancy steakhouse in Texas, and maybe 3 draft picks. Yes, Deshaun Watson. And what I'm saying is, as long as I'm not breaking the bank too much, I'll give 2 1s up for him. I may even give up a 2 for him because Washington is building itself around trying to win now. Ron Rivera said that. I'm not saying this to be biased, but the defense is there. If you add a wide receiver, which people don't realize this, his best receiver this year is is a free agent. Fuller is. So you can kind of double up. You might have some cap space. Sign him, sign Watson. You got a happy Watson too. And whoever is the drug addict that let what's the name go out the door? DeAndre Hopkins go out the door, who let Bill O'Brien do that, because somebody let Bill O'Brien do that. I'd find them and I'd be like, Lord, if you want some Takis and a bottle of Coke, I will send it right to you. Just send Deshaun our way.
Hey, that would be a great investment for them. And I just want to let people know, people in the chat saying I'd give up Stafford for a second-round pick. No, I personally would not give up Stafford for a second-round pick. He is more valuable to my team, much more than a second-round pick.
Yeah, you got to give me multiple picks.
Yeah, you got to give me multiple picks. Remember, we're on the Warpath, a Washington football fan. So he's going to try to negotiate the least amount of capital to acquire us. And unlike us, we are going to request a ton of capital.
We gave y'all Adrian Peterson, though. So come on now. You can do us a favor, right?
You threw him away.
It wasn't too bad.
They had conversations. Well, come on, y'all.
Man, we didn't need AP, man. We didn't need him.
You're killing my point here.
Subscribe to Kofi as well while on the Warpath is tripping over his couch, laughing and having a good time. Yeah, look, man. AP, we didn't really need him. Let's get to the AP question quick. Would you re-sign Adrian Peterson? We'll do a quick round here. Dern.
No.
Tonio Hightower.
Yes.
On the Warpath, would you re-sign Adrian Peterson?
He's not about winning. He's about records. No.
What about you, TA Noble Sports?
I got to say, as much as I love AP, no.
Okay, there we go. We got one yes and a bunch of no's. And if you would like to know how I feel, I'll make a video at some point about it.
Got him.
John Kapler, $5 super chat. Man, you guys are on fire today. Again, he's a Lions YouTuber. Subscribe to his channel. It says, what moves and players do we get rid to make this team a playoff team with 17 weeks? Oh, man. What moves we're going to have to make? You're going to have to get Robert Saleh. You're going to have to draft immensely. When we look upon this defense, our defensive line is depleted. We don't even have a linebacking core, and we probably need another safety. So what do we need? We need help from God himself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Part away the NFL teams to move us into the playoffs. We extend the playoffs to 16 teams in each division. I think that we're going to need to sacrifice humans, get the fire going. But in all honesty, we need to have a great leader of men, and we got to really strike gold on this draft. Just like we need to strike gold on getting to 80 likes, and that's 4 more to go. So make sure you hit that like button. But great question. We're going to need a lot of help. We're going to need a lot of help.
Jesus himself to sit up for QB.
No doubt about it, man. It's going to be an issue for sure. Let's see what we got here. Do you think we have a chance against the Saints on Sunday? Kofi, Chicago Bears versus the New Orleans Saints. I don't know here. This is a tough one because Chicago's got a defense, right? They can play defense. Mitchell Trubisky has been playing better.
Yeah.
TA, who's going to win this game?
Saints.
Okay.
And the reason why the Saints are going to win because I just think that they're a better football team. They got a better running back. They got better weapons on offense, and I just think that ultimately the Saints are going to put up more points than probably the Bears. But I could be wrong because the Bears have been putting up points lately. But I just think that it's just too much on the side of the Saints, and plus the Saints have a defense as well.
Okay. Who do you got, Washington football team, Mr. On the Warpath?
Well, I think God owes the Saints a victory in the playoffs after losing the Kurt family member in the family band last year. So I think they're going to come out with purpose, and I think they're going to run the ball. In Chicago, they showed me that they aren't ready. And we could say this about my team too, but Chicago just seems like I don't know what they are, and I think they're going to take advantage. New Orleans is going to take advantage of that, and they're going to win pretty good on. I think where they're playing Sunday, right? Yep. So
they are who we thought they were. That's who they are. We are who we thought they were. French fries. Do you see the Patriots getting someone like Mac Jones in the draft, or going for Watson or Ryan? Maybe a Mac Jones. Maybe Kyle Trask.
Who?
Who? Mac Jones. Who?
Mac Jones.
I don't have them. If you look at the mock draft, I don't have them taking a quarterback that early. I don't. I see maybe they can get somebody in the second round. Man, if they could trade for a Watson, that would be amazing. Matt Ryan, possible.
Yeah, I think that they could go after Mac Jones though. You guys need a quarterback too, right?
Yeah, they need a quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, Washington needs a quarterback. Yeah, I would definitely consider Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, who?
Mac Jones.
Folks, it has been nearly an hour and 15 minutes, and this is the time where we go ahead and do last words. And I'm going to throw it to the Dern. What do you got to say to the folks?
I'm just going to start off with Damian Hernandez's comment right there. Just remember double doink. Anyway,
Right.
It was a great time coming on. I haven't been on for a while again. I almost didn't show up today because I wasn't feeling that well, but I'm feeling better now. Hopefully everyone's doing well out there. God bless. It's quite the year. We got to make it better. Hope everyone stay safe out there.
Yes. And hopefully it's not where 2020 was a really bad year, but 2021 says, hold my corona. We don't need that. Let's get this a little bit better year. Antonio Hightower, what do you got to say to the folks out there?
It was nice coming on here with you guys today. Franchise Kenny Galladay and trade him. Trade Matthew Stafford. And my daily reminder that Gregory Rousseau is trash.
Oh.
And he said Justin Herbert was trash last year as well. Bum, 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 bum.
Wow.
I didn't know the Oregon coaching staff was trash. I had to learn that.
And TA Noble Sports, what do you got to say when we close this bad boy out?
Hey man, I like to appreciate Warpath for coming on the show on today. Man, what a phenomenal appearance on the show, man. Love to do another show with you, brother. And you got an awesome channel, man. I got a chance to check it out through Micro Mike. And I love what you're doing over there in Washington, man. Keep on doing your thing. But also to the people in the chat, man, we appreciate you guys. You guys are the real MVPs. And without you guys, none of this is possible. So keep on subscribing to Micro Mike. Subscribe to the Warpath. Subscribe to Dern whenever he gets the courage to make more videos. And also Antonio T also representing on today. That's what I like to say to the people.
When the game is going on with Washington versus Buccaneers, I want to see a lot of my subscribers on there. Let's get him over 100 people in the chat. I want my subscribers, whether you're live or now or not, to make sure you subscribe to his channel. It's a great channel. On the Warpath, tell the folks about your channel while we close this bad boy out.
Yeah, and shout out to Damian Hernandez. That's one of my boys over there too, and great supporter of anybody on YouTube. And Outlaw King was in here too, so I appreciate it. But my name is on the Warpath. My channel is I go by Sanchez 405 or Corey. It doesn't really matter. Just don't call me late for dinner. I cover everything Washington football. Related from coaching to players to disappointments. And, you know, I found out that I'm just a dude that talks. And I'm like Bruce, the comedian, says he doesn't make jokes. He just tells real stories. So and that's what I do. And I do real observations. It is I always try to make my audience informed, but I want to make sure you're laughing at the end of it, because at the end of the day, that's what we're here for, is to talk about our teams. And anybody is welcomed on my channel, whether you're there to troll or you are there to add to the conversation, man. I appreciate Micro Mike, you having me on here. It's an honor that, you know, somebody like you found me. And I was like, oh my gosh! I said, this guy. I'm like, what? I said, what did I step into? I said, this algorithm. This algorithm got me showing up on legitimate platforms. I was like, what now? So I appreciate you, sir, and all you gentlemen on here. I appreciate you guys coming on, just having me on here and embracing me. So I really do appreciate it. And check us out on. I'll be on tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern time for my preview of Friday Focus, and then I will be back 8:15 with the live stream. I'll be on about 7:45 on Saturday Eastern time.
Okay.
And it's gonna be fun. I'm always in there. It's a great time. So make sure you subscribe. Have a good time. Before we get out of here, make sure you hit that like button before you leave. It helps the video get out, and that would be doing great service to my channel. I appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys are MVPs. All the super chats. God bless you guys. Man, without you, this channel is not running. That's what it's all about. Everybody out there, if you're a Lions fan, it's been rough. But guess what? We still want pride. We still gonna ride, die, no matter what. We bleed that Honolulu blue and silver, and we're gonna continue to get this bad boy out. With that said, folks, have a great night. Adios.
Peace.